Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun.
Well, here we are again, and we have another small project to deal with here. It turns out this guy calls me yesterday and says, hey, I'm building a bed, and these little lock things are to lock the frames into the bed, and I need 8 of them. And I'm like, well, okay, let's just see what we can do. So he brings this piece over, and yeah, I can do it. So let me bring you in closer. Let's have a look at the perimeter of this and what we're going to have to do, and let's do it. Okay, well, as you can see, it's a fairly simple design. The only complex part is getting down into here, and he said that instead of making a square cut right here at the base of that, I can do a round one, so which means I can drill a hole and then make my cut come up to the hole. So, and it's fairly thin material. What we're looking at 10 gauge maybe, maybe 8 gauge. So, hey, there's not much to be said. Just get started. I found a piece of material to work from, and first thing we're going to do is cut the basic length of metal on the old bandsaw. So okay, we did a test run yesterday, or yesterday evening, to try one out to see how it would work, and it looks like it's going to work pretty well. We got about a 1/16 or so extra, because we're going to have to come in and square up that edge a bit in order to get it right. So let's bring our sheet metal in. And I'm going to give myself a little bit more room. I'm going to have about 1/8 of an inch, because we're going to sandwich all these together and mill them as a unit. So, you know, 1/8 of an inch amongst friends, no big deal. All right. Okay, we found another little piece of scrap, and we cut that, and that should get us where we want to go. One would hope. We're a little bit torqued here. That's better. And this is piece number 8, so I think we're set. Okay, so we're going to smooth out or square up one edge of this so that we can stack them up and put them all in the mill and mill off the other end. So let's get started. Okay, well, we got them all together. We've got them smoothed out. We've got them so they can stack without getting too lost in their inconsistencies. So we're going to go over and drill 2 holes in the end of this and somehow clamp this together. I'm thinking with a screw, but it's hard to know just yet. Well, thinking on my feet as I'm grinding on this last process, I'm trying to think of, okay, how am I going to get this thing to even out? And I think the best way is to, how am I going to get it to clamp? Okay, so we're just going to drop it in here and close it up. And that bottom edge should be fairly smooth, or fairly even. Now we're going to get 2 little C-clamps and grip this. Okay. There we go. There's one. Let's grab it low. There we go. That's 2. All right, so we got a good grip on it, and those bottom lines are fairly smooth. Yeah, I think we're going to be fine. Out at the ends it gets a little shaky, but if we look at the master, there's lots of room on both ends. I'm wondering if we couldn't just do it with C-clamps. Huh. No, we've got to have a flush drill hole. All right, no problem. So now we got to find a bolt, and I'm going to go hunting. So all right, so we've got we figured that we've got a 632 bolt or small bolt or screw, we've got with a flat head. So now we can drill down in and then countersink it and drop that head in below the surface of the piece, so that when we get ready to cut it, we can have a flat surface to work from. So right now we're going to, let's get rid of some of this swarf here. I put a little oil on the surface there to give it a little gripping power. Now it doesn't work if you're doing production and you've got, you know, you're going to come in and out, but just to grab onto one part for a few minutes, it works pretty good. All right, so we bring this back over here, and somewhere in about there. Doesn't really matter where, because this is scrap anyhow. And just take it easy and go down, because it's not really holding much, probably just holding this biggest piece here. But you know, it's going to be enough to give us what we want. I'll keep my finger on this side just in case it does move, then I can bring it back. All right, there's one side. Let's make sure the bolt fits. Yeah, nice and tight. Nice and snug. Couldn't ask for better. All right, take it over to the other side. Like a dream. So we're going to put the nut on and we're going to tighten it up, and of course we don't have our countersink in yet, because I want to put the countersink on the other side, because this is the narrowest one, and this is the one that we're gonna have to put our master on. Come on. All right, we can take this off because the clamps are still holding it. Tighten that up. Snug that one down, and now we're going to take our clamps and turn them around. Yeah, there we go. Now that allows us to come in and put a countersink on this back one here. Okay, drop it in. Oops, wait a second. This is our even side. Always want that to be up against the non-moving chuck. Okay. Non-moving part of the vise. And we can put this away. Come on. Oops. All right, let's bring it out. And there we are. Okay. Take our clamps off. And we got ourselves a nice square edge. Drop this in here. And if we're doing this, really, that's as far as we need to go. It's about right there. Okay, we're getting down to this thinnest one, which was the first one we made, and it isn't quite as thick as the others. So we're taking 30 now. It looks like we're going to take another 20 or maybe 30 the next pass and we'll be there. One inch, 140 thousandths. So we're in good shape, and our size is 1 inch 90 thousandths. So we got 50 thousandths more to take. So let's put it in this way and come back and square up this edge real nice and clean. And we're sitting at 35, so we still got 45 thousandths to go. Let's take another 30. And that's going to give us what we want. All right, we got our basic shape. Now what we want to do is put our design on top of it. Okay. Scratch it up a little bit with sandpaper. Just a little bit. Scratch up our other part of the design. Looks good. Now I would say super glue, but I'm thinking this could get a little warm.
And super glue has a tendency to let go when it's warm. So, better yet, we're going to get a two-part epoxy. We'll come back. Rather than JB Weld, we found some two-part epoxy here that should work pretty good. Okay, so now we drop this down, open up our vise, and that should do the trick. Okay, so we're going to let that set up, and then once it sets up, we'll come back in a couple of hours and start sawing. Oh, well, okay, here we are again. It's the next morning, fairly early. I got sidetracked with getting that generator from a couple of weeks back when I was doing the generator housing. I ended up having that guy fix that generator up. So now I'm just kind of doing final things so that I can put it on the property and run some of my things when the power goes out. Anyhow, I got involved with that yesterday and I never got back to this. So we clamped it now and glued it. Now we take it back up and we've got ourselves a nice, I don't know, maybe you can't see it, just barely. There we go. We've got ourselves a nice pattern to work from, and that should give us basically what we need to cut our shapes. So I think what we're going to do next is we're going to drill our holes. There's 4 holes here, and then I'm going to drill a hole right in this little crotch right here, and one up here, and then we come in and mill out all the excess out of all of that, and okay, let's get rolling.